Maybe the women that you looked up to in your life weighed themselves daily or saved up calories before a big meal, right? You heard them talk about it like that, or maybe you saw her pinch herself in the mirror, pinch her stomach or thighs, whatever, in the mirror and sigh, right? Some negative thing. Body language is so important, right? Like oftentimes we learn more from what is unsaid, right? We learn more through tone. So not necessarily unsaid, but we learn more through tone, through sometimes unspoken language like body language, right? Maybe food in your experience for the women that were role models for you, maybe it was really complicated. Maybe they use food to soothe, to celebrate, to avoid, right? There was always some emotional charge around food and some explanation and some desired emotional result for why they were eating, but it was rarely ever neutral. And so even if it is your mom, or, even if the woman role model in your life was deeply loving, she was also likely swimming in the same really murky waters of diet culture that you're now trying to climb out of. So, of course, you picked up beliefs and self-talk, negative self-talk. Of course, you picked up food noise, like finish everything on your plate. You've been good today, you deserve a treat, right? Oh, that food is bad. That's bad. That's like bad for you. This is a quote unquote clean food, right? Like labeling foods. Right? These are the kind of messages, verbal and nonverbal, that gets stored in your nervous system. And it's not because there's some sort of malfunction in you, right? It's just because you were trained to believe that food equals value, that weight equals worth. This is what you were trained on a subconscious emotional level. Okay, so now let's fast forward, right? How these beliefs show up in your relationship with food, right? You're grown now. You're an adult woman. Maybe even you have kids of your own. Maybe you've gone through different seasons of your relationship with your food and your body. Maybe you've done like, macros and keto and Whole30 and juice fasts and, lots of rules, structure, restriction, followed by seasons of chaos, right? Maybe you've done intuitive eating. I think that's chaotic, right? The intuitive eating as a diet program, right? Maybe you're, maybe you've done all that. Maybe you've done it more than once. And now maybe you're tired of the seesaw, swinging between all in and starting over on Monday. And you're thinking, because now you're like this adult woman, maybe, you have this great job, you have it together in so many other areas of your life, you have your own children, and you're like, why is this still running my life? Right? Like, why is this still running my life? But here is the truth. Here's the thing. When food is layered, when it's layered with shame, when it's layered with your identity, when it's layered with legacy, it's never just about the food. And so you might have not realized it before this episode. Hopefully now you're realizing it. But the habits and the behaviors and the obsession and the, the constant noise in your brain, the anxiety that you struggle with today in this moment right? The binging, the emotional overeating, the obsessing over your body, they're often echoes of what was modeled for you, even if it was unintentional.